like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 and music. Love, love.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner, and this is a little gossip chat or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So come on, if you have not done so already, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel and become a whole Jaybird. Hey, Jaybirds, okay? And just come watch other videos, comment in the comment section, like the videos, share the videos, all that good stuff. Jeannie Mai from The Real. I was not going to touch her divorce because I'm like, at first, it was a little bit here, a little bit there, and it wasn't no big thing. But baby, it ain't little no more. So we know that Jeannie was married to her ex-husband. I can't think what his name is right now. But she was married to her dude or whatever. And they were married for 10 years. Okay. 10 years they were married. And what's his name? Freddie? No, it wasn't Freddie. I'll think about it in 1 second. Anyway, she was married to him for 10 years and they got divorced. Well, they're getting divorced. And I remember her announcing it on The Real. So they had been going through things or whatever, and then she was getting divorced. And so at the time, she said how, you know, it's amicable, you know, we just want different things. We've grown apart, you know, that's the issue. I'm trying to find what his name is. I don't remember what his name is. And she just kept saying how that was the reason that was the reason for the divorce. Well, that may not be entirely true. Freddie. So, the ladies were on the Breakfast Club. And on the Breakfast Club, one of the hosts brought up her being divorced and how weren't they getting divorced because, you know, he cheated or something. And she was like, well, no, not that, because they didn't want kids. She says, well, no, you know, yeah, but no, whatever. So for me, I felt like she was a little bit backpedaling and pussy popping, because that is what you said in the beginning, how y'all just want different things. Like, he wants kids, you do not. And I also feel like it could be things where she mentioned one reason on the show to just put something out there. And that did not mean that was the one reason that they got divorced. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. So she also then brought up the fact that, you know, he has moved on, he has a whole other person, and then they said, but wait, he got somebody else pregnant like real fast after y'all like announced your separation. Here is the issue, because I was watching Layla Lynn earlier today, and I think she did like 3 separate videos on the different things. One, them being on the Breakfast Club, 2, her being on her show, because after the Breakfast Club, she was on her show, and she was on there crying, saying how if she knew then what she knew now, she would not have even married her husband, because sometimes divorce makes people do things to where you don't know who they are anymore, and how divorce can change people when like money's involved and when a person does not get what they want. And she said she felt like, she said like, you know, now that he is not getting what he want, my ex is a different person. So we seen that whole thing. When I heard that Freddie had someone pregnant, even I said, well, damn, they just announced they was getting a divorce. And so I felt like, does that mean that he was cheating during the marriage? Not necessarily. However, it do means he moved on so fast. It's like, well, damn, when did you stop giving a fuck? Because, you know, if you have been married to somebody for 10 years, for you to have gotten another woman pregnant 6 months later, come on now, bro. Like, you were doing something. So the girl is also a girl who they have both known for, you know, roughly, you know, 8 years or whatever. And there are like pictures of them with the girl, like hanging out over the years, like on social media. Like, so like it's stuff like that, you know. Even Layla pointed out how they were online, how Freddie would be commenting on the girl's post. There's little stuff here and there, and you know, some stuff, you know, was inappropriate considering the fact that he had a wife. Okay, it is what it is, and it was while he was still married to Jeannie. So it does look like he had some kind of feelings for the girl. And then also they brought up how there was a picture of them all at this little trip. At the time, he and Jeannie were married, okay, all the way married. And he was saying how after him and Jeannie were no longer married, well, no longer together, how that trip was special for him and his now pregnant girlfriend. And it's like, bitch, how? Again, it makes you feel like he was wholeheartedly cheating. So when she was on her show and also on the Breakfast Club, insinuating that he was cheating on her or he was doing things that, he should not have been doing or whatever, she never came out and said, yes, he cheated. What she said was, once things started happening, I was not doing the math. However, my friends and family was doing the math. Like, well, if I announced the divorce at this time and you yourself said y'all started dating at this time and then she's pregnant at this time, like, the math kind of doesn't add up or whatever. So they announced they were getting divorced like in October of last year. And then he announced in April that for the past 6 months he had been with someone, and then for the past 4 months he was happy because she was pregnant, meaning he was started messing with her in November. So my thing is, how can your wife announce your divorce in October and you have a new girlfriend in November and then she's pregnant in January? If you've been married for 10 years, I don't know if 6 months, is enough time to say I wasn't cheating, especially when it's with a person who you knew while you were married. And then there are these old little comments and things that you have put on her IG posts and pages and comments or whatever that just seem inappropriate. It just does. And it's just weird. So the baby mama wrote a whole letter, and Layla read it on her channel. Layla Lynn on her channel, and the girl, I feel like the girlfriend, the baby mama, has no right to go at Jeannie, mainly because when they was going through the issues, when Jeannie and Freddie had whatever issues, you were not in there married. So you've only supposedly been with them for 6 months. So what gives you the right, the unmitigated gall to write a long ass letter basically saying how, you weren't there for him when his father was dying? You was on, working, you was working somewhere else, like he went on a whole work trip. You tried to make him be something he wasn't. You tried to change who he was. And I'm like, really, bitch? Really, girl? Really? And I feel like, again, she, as if you've only been with this man for 6 months, and she kept saying how I would never date a married man. And she said that because the divorce was filed in October, they filed for legal separation in like November, and around November is when she started talking to him. So she's saying because he legally filed for separation, he ain't married. No, that's not what it means. He's still legally married. Even though he's legally separated, he's still legally married. It is what it is. So you can't play like, oh, I would never date a married man. But you're dating one. Okay, you're dating one. Until he's divorced, you're dating a married man. You're pregnant by someone else's husband. She also insinuates that Jeannie is the one who was holding up the divorce, and that she's actually the one who wants more money, not him. How she's, petitioning to protest the prenup. So she's saying how she's trying to play victim, but it's really her that's holding up their divorce. And I'm like, even if that's true, why are you getting involved? If you have only been with him for 6 months, you have not been with him long enough to really have an opinion. Because you were not there when they were going through the bullshit. You've only been there recently. And I feel like this: if I'm with a man and we have been married for 10 years, okay, and we are going through divorce, and he gets somebody pregnant 6 months after we announced our divorce, I would be pissed. And the girl said how she needs to be okay with him moving on, and because he has. I don't think it's the issue of her not being okay with the fact that he's moved on. It's the fact of, one, we still married, And two, I feel like whatever we have going on now, you are a different person. And I also feel like, I wonder if Freddie knew the girlfriend was sending this letter to the blogs. Okay? Because my thing is, if he ain't said shit about that part, and if Jeannie ain't said shit about that part, why would you then put all that out there in the public? Like, why? Because at the end of the day, it's going to make you, to me, I feel like she's being petty. I feel like she's the new girlfriend going after the old girlfriend and wanting to dog out the old girlfriend. I feel like, even though I get how she's like, well, Jeannie has her own show, and so Jeannie can every day, dog him in the news and make people feel like, okay, he's the person out here and now he wants more money. I also feel like Jeannie needs to leave it alone too. Like, handle it in private. I get that you're on the reality show called on a TV show called The Real, but I do feel like, because even on the Breakfast Club thing, when they were talking about how kind of just insinuating that he cheated, Lonnie then says, we're not going to put that out there because we don't know that to be facts, okay? And then even Tamira's like, this was just speculation between friends. And I'm like, that really happens. If I think your husband cheated on you and he your ex-husband, I'm going to say, let's talk about it. We think he cheated. So, but, Jeannie can maybe talk about it less from the point of what he did. Like to say, I don't think her saying like, had I known what I know now, then I would have married him. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that, but I do think the whole thing, he's different now because of money. Maybe not say that, just so that he can't then say she's dogging me in the media, so I had to fight back, and then it becomes a public divorce. And I do feel like I'm gonna wait for somebody to reply, because the letter that the girl put out, it was, and I ain't trying to go through the whole thing. I know if you want to see the whole letter, go to Layla's page, because she read out the whole letter that the girl did. But she basically just made it seem as if Jeannie was the issue, like she's the reason for all of this, and how she's the one, she wants more money, how she got just all these. I'm looking like, really? I don't really believe it all either, but I also don't think it maybe is all lies. But again, who are you? 4 months, she was 4 months pregnant in April. May, so I don't know how many. That was April, May, June, July, August, September. So she might be, the baby should be born in a minute. Okay. Oh, because she then said, like, I don't need this stress, and you stressing me out, and a pregnant woman doesn't need stress. Leave it alone then. Again, if my husband of 10 years tells me or says how he was dating somebody in November, and we announced our, we divorced, we announced our divorce in October, it make you feel like he was doing something else beforehand. And it's a reason why the same girl who he had been commenting on little stuff or whatnot, it was something going on between them. But she did bring up how, because Jeannie was like not really around and he was so sad or whatever, it made me and him go closer, and that's how we ended up getting together. Bullshit, okay? I feel like the girl is trying to save face and say he wasn't cheating with me. I wouldn't cheat with a married man, but you with a married man. You are a man who was filed for legal separation is still a married man. So we can't take her word verbatim, okay? And again, I need her to go sit her pregnant ass down somewhere, be calm, cool, and collected, birth that baby, and just stay out of it, okay? Because again, you ain't been around long enough when they were married and going through things to say anything. But she probably has been around currently for what's going on since she's been around, and that's what she's mad about. But if you weren't really in their lives beforehand, you was like a friend of a friend or whatever, and just around, you don't know what they went through. You don't know what she mean by that man and change, because how that man is with you may not be how he is with her, or how he was with her. So I had to get that off my chest. Anyway, that's my thought process on it. Anyway, I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. Peace.
It's like love, 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 and music.